The good man brings good things out of the good stored up in him, and the evil man brings evil things out of the evil stored up in him. Matthew chapter 12, verse 35. Man, I know it's kind of dark in this room, but it's amazing how well I can see if I have my flashlight on. But hang on just a second. If I were to turn this around, and kids, I don't recommend doing this at home, okay? But just, if I'm to turn this around, and I just shine this light like right in my eyes, I'm gonna tell you, this flashlight is not of much use. I kind of can't see much of anything. I mean, you can see me really well. You can see me extremely well, probably more than you really want to, but I can't see much else other than this really bright light that is shining in my eye. And so I'm gonna go ahead, whoop, and put that down and turn on the light back in the classroom. Because here's the thing. Flashlights are very useful. Lights are very useful. And I know I've got my flashlight on my cell phone and everything. But if I'm just shining it on me, and I have it shining directly on me, like right in my face, it's gonna show people me, but it's not gonna be of much use to me or really anyone else, is it? When we take a flashlight, so to say, in our life, and we just turn it on ourselves, it's a lot like our pride. We're really wanting to show off. It's like a spotlight on a stage. Turn that on. Look at me, look at me, look at me. But at the same time, it doesn't do a good job of showing us much else. In fact, it can often hide other things from us. So like when I had the light off and I had the light shining directly in my face with my flashlight, I couldn't see anything else around me. That means that I might miss out on people around me. I might bump into something, I might break something, I might not know where I'm really going. So it's not of much use, is it? Now again, other people can see me really well, so if my intent is I need to shine a light so people can see me, man, it's really serving its purpose, isn't it? But if I'm wanting to do anything else with it, not of much use. Now, how does this relate to goodness? I'll get there. I bet you've read this passage before. You've read about Jesus talking about the light set on the hill, or the lamp set on the hill. Well, here we go. It's from Matthew chapter 5. He says, "You're the light of the world, and a town or a city built on a hill can't be hidden. Also, people don't put a lamp under a bowl. Instead, they put it up on a stand. This way, it gives light to everyone in the house. In the same way, let your light shine so that others can see it. Then they will see the good things you do, and they will bring glory to your Father who is in heaven." So all those good things we've been talking about, all those different ways that we can look out for one another, we can show that other people are of value and that we want to help explain and show and exhibit all of those things that God's Spirit has put within us, all those good deeds. That light that we have the ability to shine, it shouldn't be shining on us as a pride sort of thing to attract attention and show us. It's going to light the whole room so that not only do we see the good things that God has set before us, but other people see those good deeds as well, so that we can have pride in ourselves and gain some sort of special thing? No. So that God will be glorified through the good actions that we're doing in His name or through His Spirit. It's an awesome thing. But again, it's not much good if we're using that lamp to just shine right in our eyes. We need to project it out. It says, the city on the hill, you don't want to hide it. You don't want to light a lamp and then put it under a bowl. What good's that going to do? I know we don't have lamps in our house a lot of time, but I'm sure you have light fixtures. Somewhere there's an electric light in your house. Do all of those lights exist on the floor? Probably not. Most of them, if you look up, they're probably either built into your ceiling or they're hanging from their ceiling, or you have a lamp stand and it's up on the top of the lamp usually, because the higher up the light, the more spread out it can be, the further it can reach, the more use it is. So the same in our life. If we can find ways to spread that light out, the more good things we will be able to see before us. Maybe the more needs we can meet of other people, the more people we can see that maybe they don't have someone who's reaching out to them and caring for them or showing God to them. And then also, like it said, the more that light shines out, the more people will see that light shining and they'll be attracted to it and they'll wonder, man, what's causing all of this? What's making you make those choices? Why do you care and love and show goodness to people the way you do? And that answer can be, because it's God's Spirit within me. It's God who is causing all of this. It's God who makes me want to respond to people the way that I do. So think about that the next time you've got a flashlight and you shine it right in your eye. Don't do that. It hurts your eyes. But if you've ever been messing with the light and you tried to mess with the on switch and it's not working and it shines, you know what that's like. It's not of much use. So let's think about being the light that is of use, to help not only us see all the things and the good deeds before us, but to help others see the good things and come to God. So, anytime you maybe let a friend play the game with you, who maybe you wouldn't have otherwise, and you're shining God's light to them. If you are showing respect to your parents and teachers or siblings, you're shining God's light. If you see someone who's hurting and you just listen to them, maybe put your arm around them, tell them you're there for them, you're shining God's light. There's a lot of great ways that we can be shining God's light and showing His goodness to those around us. And I know we've talked about that a lot, but we have to be reminded of it, because we're all going to be tempted at some point to go, can't this light just flip around and shine on me for a little bit? But we need to remember and turn it around to shine on all these other things. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to take just a minute at the end of this video, at the end of the rest of the devotional this morning, because kids, adults, this is great for all of us to think about at some point. I want you to go ahead and write down some things that you thank God for. Something good in your life that you know is from God, and you want to say thank you to Him for that goodness. Then here's the thing. Remember, we all want to flip the light around at some point. We need to write down a time that we need to ask God's forgiveness for when we weren't showing His goodness, when we were letting that light shine on us rather than the good things around us. So, we're going to write things that we thank God for goodness. We're going to write some times that we need forgiveness for the times we haven't shown His goodness. And then maybe write down at least one thing where you're going to ask God's help to have the courage, the strength, the desire to show goodness in another one of the things in your life. Maybe it's in a relationship with a friend. Maybe it's in just a difficult task that you know you have to do. It's a lot of different things that you could ask for God's help to get through it, to show His goodness. So again, those three things. Number one, some things we can thank God for His goodness in. Number two, times we need His forgiveness when we weren't showing His goodness. And number three, something that we can do to show His goodness in the future. And maybe we need His help to be a little stronger in our desire to do that. It's a great thing to have God's Spirit within us. And we've talked about quite a few things so far that are produced through His Spirit. His love, His joy, His peace, His patience, kindness, and now we're finishing up His goodness. I hope that as we think about those things that are stored within our hearts, we can now see where to go in God's Word, or the ways that we can practice living out God's Spirit that'll store up more good things within us. So when the opportunity arises, we're going to reach inside of us, and there's little doubt that we're going to pull a good thing out and have it ready to share with the people around us. So next time, we're going to be starting on a new aspect of God's Spirit, a new fruit of His Spirit. And I'm sure if you sing the song for just a second, you'll know where we're headed next. Have a good week, everyone.